Moth about a flame. Harry's wife's narcissism is pushing her hard to try and stay relevant. By turning up at events, piggybacking off other people in order to be seen. Being seen enables her to assert control. Being seen allows her to draw fuel by way of people's reactions. She doesn't care that people look at it and wrinkle their noses and go, "Look at her, absolutely desperate," the stench of desperation. She becomes aware of such observations, it's challenge fuel, and she will just haughtily dismiss it. They're haters, they're envious of me. But there's repeated reportage about these attempts, which have increased as she's ramping up the desperation level to be taken seriously as a celebrity. The Times, through Kieran Southern, reports A-list friendships help to keep Harry and Harry's wife in the limelight. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been spotted rubbing shoulders with A-list stars at several Hollywood events over the past few days, with experts saying it is important for the couple to stay in the public eye. Of course, they sought such privacy that they now have clearly decided that that wasn't for them. And Harry, who evidently found that the paparazzi and those flashing lights which so traumatic to him, is thoroughly embracing being seen out and about also. Nothing like a good dose of hypocrisy, unsurprising when you spent as much time as he has around his wife. Harry, 38, and Harry's wife, 42, returned to the Los Angeles celebrity scene over the weekend with separate appearances. If you ever needed confirmation that there's nothing really royal about these two, this is demonstrating it. Harry, of course, was born a prince, but he's not behaving like a royal. He stood back from being a working royal, fair enough. Harry's wife, of course, continues to leverage off the title, because unlike Harry, she'd be nothing without it. At least Harry was born that. He's a blue blood. She married in, has nothing about her, and has no talent, and therefore, for her, driven, of course, by her narcissism, it's absolutely imperative that she is seen, because without being seen, she can't get to the prime aims, at least not as successfully as otherwise could be achieved. Infamy, being seen, hobnobbing with proper A-listers, enables her to get to the prime aims. And it's shameless. As I mentioned in the immediate part past him, there she is having a photograph taken with somebody who is actually a decent actress and somebody who's forged a decent career in the world of music. They could almost be given going, "And what did you do? Marry a bloke with Fanta pubes and then spend your time whinging about how badly you've been treated even though you had a privileged lifestyle? Do me a favour, fuck off." That would be the response of right-minded people. But unfortunately, people tolerate Harry's wife because she's that Klingon, that she muscles her way into these events with sharpened elbows for the purposes of being seen, snatches the photographs, and no doubt pours forth with beige word salad and fridge magnet platitudes. On Monday night, Harry's wife attended a Beyoncé concert, again, at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, alongside Kelly Rowland, who was in Destiny's Child with Beyoncé, therefore relevant as to why she was there, and the actress Kerry Washington, having already attended another of the singer's Los Angeles gigs on Friday with Harry and her mother. The Sussexes have largely had a year to forget in Hollywood, with their multi-million-dollar deal with Spotify coming to an end, and doubts over their output at Netflix. So rather than actually getting on with creating some decent content and earning some money, they both decide what we'll do is be seen out and about. Now, of course, it would be unfair to expect them to be working all of the time. Everybody needs to cut loose and howl at the moon once in a while and go out and enjoy themselves. But they seem to be doing a rather lot of that and nothing else. Harry's wife is just doing pap walks, her 1 hour a week with Archwell, and then being seen dancing like somebody who's got a wasp up her arse at a first Beyoncé gig, turning up at a second Beyoncé gig, and then her husband turning up at the football. Stephen Galloway, the Dean of Chapman University's Film School, said it was important for the couple to be seen at events to bolster their celebrity status. Note, once again, that's all they're being known for. It's important to maintain them in the public eye, he said, And this is why movies have premieres. This is why paparazzi are around. The Sussexes moved to California more than 3 years ago. Their attempts to crack Hollywood have run into difficulties, however, and a Spotify executive called the couple grifters once their deal with the streaming giant came to an end in June. Now, all Harry's wife seems to be able to do is flit around famous people who have achieved that through a consequence of talent and hard work. For example, whatever you might think about them, the Kardashians at least have been canny about the formation of their brand, and it's made them very wealthy. And they've become famous for being famous. But they work hard at it. They forged their own beauty lines. Their television programs are certainly not to my taste, but they've not ligged off the back of anybody. Kris Jenner was there, Khloe Kardashian was there, Jeff Bezos was there, as we all know, one of the wealthiest men in the world who's achieved that as a consequence of the formation of Amazon. He came up with a good idea and worked hard at it. Harry's wife hasn't done anything. She just married a bloke that was well known and then has piggybacked off him ever since. She's been demonstratively short of talent because no matter what she turns to, it fails. They've been called grifters, and that then placed further scrutiny on their deal with Netflix. Harry recently released the Heart of Invictus documentary series, and the couple are adapting the romance novel Meet Me at the Lake for the screen. As well as questions over their producing prowess, there have been reports of a fallout with the Beckhams. With their Hollywood careers still growing, the Sussexes must strike a delicate balance, Galloway believes. He said, "Number one, you need money, and there's a big question about how much they have. And of course, as we know, as a consequence of the profligate manner of Harry's wife, she loves to spend it and enjoys spending other people's money because of her sense of entitlement and lack of boundary recognition." Galloway also says, number two, you need mystery. Well, when you've written a book like Harry's memoir, Spare, there's no mystery left. And three, you need some kind of news. There's not much news with them. So in the end, you become the moth fluttering around another light. And that's the point. As we have seen in the course of just this weekend, Harry's wife tried to make it all about her by turning up at Beyoncé's concert. She wasn't doing anything in her own right. Harry turned up at the football, wasn't doing anything in his own right. Harry's wife turned up again at another Beyoncé gig. She's imaginative, isn't she? Therefore, piggybacking off something else. She was seen hanging around with people who've actually got careers. Again, there's no news in terms of what she's actually doing. She's not creating anything. She's not doing any philanthropic work. She's just turning up and hanging around, being seen. She is like a moth that is being drawn to the flames generated by other people. Such is her lack of talent and ability. She isn't able to create her own flame. The money's running out. There's no mystery about her because it's all been put out there. And, as Galloway has identified, there's no actual news about her. She's just being seen turning up at places, which is something that she's done for quite a while. Turning up at the dentist, turning up hiking, turning up wearing her anti-stress patch, turning up walking across the road with Harry, turning up when entering a sushi restaurant. Now, it's a little more prominent because she's been turning up at concerts and he's been turning up at football matches. But once again, it shows that there's nothing about them of themselves. Thus, she's this moth, irritatingly flapping the wings, floating around the heat and light generated by other people and not herself. How do the good readers of the Times see all of this? David Anderson writes, "I don't care what they do or who they do it with as long as they do it over there and not over here." James Cross, "As talentless but entitled grifters, Harry and Harry's wife loved the limelight and never had even the remotest of intentions to lead a quiet life. Harry hates being of any service to the UK, and it shows." Raj Chotai, "Isn't this an article for Hello or OK magazine?" S.C. DeWitt, "I think it's a bit of a stretch to describe these interactions as constituting friendships." Patsy Tedstone, "With their Hollywood career still growing." Careers? Growing? Patsy Tedstone, combination of the Daily Whale, Sun and Hello or OK magazine. seeing essentially that the Times readers don't want to be seeing this kind of nonsense. John McMonagh, I doubt these are friendships, more like photo opportunities for influencers, not really a matter for the Times. Carol Ann Rice, they must keep in the public eye to boost their celebrity status. What a superficial, insecure and flaky way to live. Your worth dependent on continual media coverage and fame. What a pointless life you've opted for, Harry. JT Thompson, aren't they scheduled to go on another Leave Us Alone, Respect Our Privacy tour again soon? Jan Brooksbank, an article where the comments are much more interesting than the story itself. S. Duggins, how much power does Kerry Washington and Kelly Rowland have? Having your pictures taken with both of these people doesn't mean that the next big deal that Harry's wife is desperately aiming for is around the corner. The people with the real power in Hollywood know who and what kind of person Harry's wife truly is. I doubt that WME will be able to get a deal with the power people for this D-list actress. David Preston, 1, they have left the royal family. 2, attending a concert isn't rubbing shoulders with celebrities. 3, what deluded editor thought this was newsworthy of the Times? S. Duggins, well, she can finally say that she has some black friends now. Never had any in all her life before marrying Harry. J. Daniels responds, they're not her friends, they're just a means to an end, which is indeed true. Orla Gilhooly, it was pointed out that their first evening at the concert, she went twice, they were seated in a box so far away from the celebrity pit, her management company organised for her to attend another evening in the celeb pit for the photo op. What an awful occupation to have. And I feel awful knowing this useful information. And it's a fair point. The Moth, that is Harry's wife, was too far away from the flame on Friday night, and therefore she has no doubt mentioned it to the management company, or they've noticed this and therefore they've tried to bring her closer to the flame. The problem for Harry's wife is, because she can't generate her own flame, she's just going to flutter around those of other people, and there's only 2 ways it's going to go. She's going to fly too close so she sets herself on fire and disappears, or those people will take the light away from her, because after all, moths are rather irritating, aren't they? And ultimately, they will extinguish the light, leaving her in the darkness of obscurity. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.